welcome to a new episode of Breaking It Down with YNK. Today we're gonna talk about map control on the Inferno, so let's get right into it. As most of you probably know, the most important part of the map is the banana area here. Besides that, we have the AAPS area and the middle area, so I'm gonna try and give you a few examples of why these parts of the map are particularly important as in map control in general, and how it can be exploited by both the Ts and CTs when they do have the control of these parts of the map. So let's move straight into it. This is a match between Luminosity and TSM from the Faceit 3 League Finals at DreamHack Winter. And you can see Luminosity going for a mostly standard setup. They throw this semi-aggressive smoke towards the banana. This is the full aggressive one. So on the other hand, TSM just goes for the probably most default setup you can have. Initially send two players towards B. They see that it's basically a passive setup from the CTs, not really too aggressive. They go for bedroom control with, apps control, clearing bedroom with Molotov, Dupree getting control of window room and boiler. Now they're going to try and get mid control with Kerrigan and Dupree, basically with just a flash and a smoke. This maybe helps them a bit, the fact that Dupree knows that the smoke was thrown from way back. It's a weird smoke here, so he probably can guess that there's no one towards short. It's still risky, but they go for it nonetheless, and they get the important info. Also, they have banana control as well. Device was shoulder peeking, gets tagged by Fallen, so they know that there's an op on B as well. So right now, probably after hearing the call that an op was on B, Kerrigan decides to go for his team to go B, only leaving Dupree here, but was people call the NIP play from back in the day. So even though they have limited resources, this is a pretty viable thing for them to do. And look at it now, like no apps control from LG. They're forced to throw a smoke here, the last one they have. No mid control and no banana control. So they have no idea where TSM is or what they can do. There's still enough time to execute a fake even. There's still enough time for TSM to do pretty much whatever they want. So Fur feels maybe pressured by this. He decides to go for a solo play to get some info when he gets the call that the smokes are flying. Dupree gets the duel there. Now it's even worse for LG. they know that there's a lurker here. The standard execute with two smokes for coils and for CT. Molotov for cold forces him to move out of this spot. Fallen is forced to jump on the coils to be able to do anything. Since his teammate died, he feels pressure to go for the kills. He will get entered by Device immediately, so now they know that there's only one player left on B. They will just overwhelm him and win an easy round. So this was an example of how you can get punished for not having mid control or not having map control on Inferno at all, and going for that risky play by Fur did not pay out this time. But we have another example here. Just let me check which round it is. Okay, this round. So this is a match from Starlighter, Minsk, the now G2 team, playing against Fnatic. So initially you can see the G2 players going for the passive setup on B. Maybe this is a potential guess read from Existence, expecting a B attack from Fnatic if they see that there's no aggressive banana smokes, which they used to do a lot in this half and up until this point, but that doesn't happen. Instead, what happens is Fnatic goes for the default setup. They get control of apps. They know that there's no one aggressive in banana. They're even going to go for mid control now as well. You can see that the French-Belgian team now is forced to throw a smoke here. They're forced to rotate towards A because they know that there's a smoke here as well. They just can't take the risk anymore. And you can see how Existence is going, you know, back and forth, not sure where to go. He decides to throw a smoke for Scream and go towards the A side. Smith is not in a really good position as well. I mean, they're gonna flash for him now, but he only gets info that there's no one long, which doesn't really mean a lot. Existence stuck around the speedway area. Scream throws the last smoke they have, maybe a bit prematurely. So right now you can see them making a call. Okay, we need to get, you know, some information back, and this is one of the most standard ways to do it. You know, go for try to retake mid if they're there. Smith throws a flash, but it's premature, or RPK is a bit too late the way you want to look at it. So RPK does the same, more or less the same thing that Fur did in the previous example, but the most important thing, he gets the kill. Now they know that it's gonna be a big hit with all these smokes and flashes and so on. So Scream will die here without getting a single kill. He maybe should have, when you're a lone player on B, I mean, this is commonly smoked area, right? You don't really want to be there. In my opinion, much better position is Emo, somewhere around here, holding a passive angle, which guarantees you maybe at least one kill, maybe even two, or, you know, maybe behind the second oranges here, or however you call them, or fountain, or something like that. This way he gives them entrance to the site. Now look at this, 4v4, but they have full control of the site. Luckily, because of the map info they got, they were able to go for the quick rotate. They already have two players here. They can throw the nades, molotovs, they get the spray through, so they get 2 kills through the smoke. They're in a 3v2 with Creams being tagged. They know that Flasha is there, they know that Creams is in the site. I mean, it's still in a 2v2, they still could have lost it in the end, but they do manage to win it. So an example of how getting delayed information, I mean, after initially not having any map control, then you have to go for something, it pays off. It's something that can win you the round ultimately. So moving to another round into this half earlier on, with Fnatic on a weaker buy, they throw this smoke that they throw a lot when they know that the opposing team has an upper, and they also like sometimes to run through that smoke with a flash and so on. So now they decide, since the Kappa players have been throwing this smoke a lot, now they decide to just try and brute force their way in with 2 pop flashes, and expecting that the city players are going to be somewhere around here. They just want to get the favorable trades and get control of the site. So they are going to go exactly for that. And you can see how the players on A are passive, because they know that the running through the smoke is possible, and they know that Fnatic is on a weak buy, so that's why the players on B were more defensive as well. They weren't playing these aggressive positions, they were playing a little bit far back, which gives them the info that they're running through towards the smoke on B. They get the counter flashes, they get the kills, and even though again they will get control of the site, Scream did a lot of damage on the remaining 2 players, and this is a safe way to play it for the CTs. They will win the round in the end just with good trades. Now, if you're wondering why did Fnatic decide to go for that, I mean, we saw how TSM with their default, it paid off for them. Why just not try and do the same thing? Well, they don't have a lot of resources, and that move from them actually can pay off, it can work. So let's see a situation from that other game. Cajun throws the smoke towards Banana, and you can see Luminosity, even if they have a lot of resources, they go for that basically the same play with 1 pop flash, and you can see that now the CT players are closer by, so they will just get, even though they're not flash, they're just Device is left here committed, he can't hide anywhere, while Dupree turned away from the flash, hid behind the wall, and basically they had no chance to get the kills, and it was an easy round for LG. And you can see how, you know, in one particular situation it looks like a complete blunder, why would you do that, why not wait out? In the other situation, you know, you can call LG, wow, this is a genius play. So I mean, it all depends on different scenarios and so forth. Now to go back to the Fnatic game. Show another example. Okay, this round. So this is as well one of the more common setups. As you can see, Shoxy, the A player, again will throw the aggressive banana smoke, which is how people most often do it, so that the B players have their smokes left, because it's more valuable to have a smoke left for this choke point on B than maybe somewhere on A, except for the A apps, which people do save a lot of the time. So you can see that they also have 3 players there. They're gonna spend their molotovs and everything. They want to get control of banana, and then leave Smith there alone, possibly, because he can get some good angles, get a free kill, and still have enough time to fall back, and buy enough time for his teammates to come and help him if Fnatic decides to go towards that part of the site. You can see nades, everything. Falasha throws a molotov, which they do all the time here, so you can see how they actually can't move deeper into banana. You know, they have their own molotovs as well, but they can't even be here. So it does work a bit. But on the other side of the map, you can see RPK moving towards A-apps aggressively. Now, in my opinion, this is a bit greedy from the CTs. So you're already sending 3 players towards banana to get banana control, and now you also want to get apps control. I mean, I get the thought process that maybe, you know, you want to bait a reaction from them to maybe go. Maybe the T's are thinking, okay, they have a lot of players B. They're not gonna have anyone in A apps. Let's just run in and get control, not throw molotovs, flashes, and so on. So you want to surprise them. But even if you want to do that, look what Shoxy. So Shoxy has to throw the smoke first, and then he's throwing a molotov and a flash as well. So what was supposed to happen is RPK gets into bedroom, and Shoxy is already here to bait for him, but he doesn't have enough time to get to this position because he had to throw all the nades. So if you want to go for this, don't throw the nades here, because that's not really gonna stop them. If they want to run through mid anyway, they can just throw a smoke into the fire and run through anyway. So at least then fully commit to what you wanted to do. So a bit greedy for them, but this round is still not over. They're down in a 4v5 situation, but Smith is in this good position towards the banana area, and as you'll see, Fnatic is getting mid control as well, but it's not gonna do anything because the CTs are committed to this setup. They left Smith here with the AWP. They know he can buy time, maybe get even a couple of kills, and that's exactly what's going to happen. He gets 2 kills here in banana. Still, as you can see, still has time to fall back behind the site, but something, a weird rotation happens here from the CTs, basically from Shoxy. Now this is something I dislike, which mostly happens to players playing small bomb sites. You should never be, I mean, Smith obviously saw the C4 as well, but you as the last player, so you can see he has 2 teammates who are closer to the B bomb site. You should always stay, you know, to this site until they're coming into the site with the C4 probably, because you have the best position here. Pit is the best position late round for the CTs on A site to be in, because there are so many angles you can take. You can peek at different times. Your teammates can draw attention from long or from side. You can just hide and then peek. They're hardly going to have a molotov maybe late into the round to flush you out and so on, but Shox decides to run after the second kill on Flasha, who was the C4 player. They all decide to go. Shox is the one going towards B, not Scream or Existence, who are both actually the B players. So now they are stuck in Graveyard and at Long, and they are going to get punished for it in the end by Olofmeister on Long. Then Existence is going to get overwhelmed. So maybe a slight rotation mistake here from the CTs, even though they had a 4v3 advantage after a 4v5 disadvantage. So this was an example of how powerful it can be to have an AWPer after you get banana control initially, and it can allow you to, if CTs played it optimally, they probably won the round, even if they were a man down. So it's not oftentimes you can say that CTs have a good chance to win a round if they're a man down. So moving on to a different round, we'll see the CTs going for basically the same thing, deep banana control with the aggressive smoke. Now, as you can see, this time they only have 2 players. Of course, there are variations to this play. You can say 2, 3 players, maybe even 1 if you want to bait a reaction from the Ts, which I think is one of the more important things in top tier Counter-Strike right now that you can use. So after doing this a couple of times, if you're expecting the Ts to react to your smoke, just throw a smoke, send 1 player there, and maybe gamble with sending 4 players towards the A side, because this player can get the info needed, he can still fall back, he can give away banana control, then you can move to a more default setup. And if they indeed react by going aggressively towards mid or A apps, which a team like Fnatic is known to do, then you can win the round by numbers at that point. So similar thing happens here. As you can see, exactly, Fnatic is adjusting, but by trying to take aggressive mid control, not going banana at all, and they will be able to do that with the kill on Smiths. And now they have basically, this is a great adjustment for them. They get the entry kill, everything is going great for them. They have the so-called power play 5v4, a free kill, and now they decide to go straight in towards A, maybe expecting that the CTs had 3 players towards banana and that there's only 1 player on A, so they just want to overrun him. But they decide to go short, which gives RPK a chance to get 2 kills. Dennis was on a smoke. He probably wanted to smoke off pit, which is, as I mentioned, as you can see, why the most dangerous position in my opinion. And they just get killed by RPK there. Shox is playing great here, getting another kill and buying more time for his teammates to rotate, and in the end they are going to win this round. So this was an example of good adjustment from the Ts, getting a great entry kill, but then from that point on a bit sloppy with their execution. It was a bit messy from that point on. So we have one more example here, I think. So again, it is a Fnatic reacting to all these deep banana smokes, banana control from the CTs. Now they go for quick apps control. This is something they already tried to do, but Shoxy was here with the AWP and got an entry kill before they even managed to get to the execution part. So now they go for that. They just run straight through. They get the kill on Shox, and this forces the 2 short players to split their attention, which in turn allows JW to get the kills on them. So again, great round by Fnatic. It's also an example how you can exploit sometimes, you make a guess of what the CT setup is going to be, even if it's a 1-1-1 setup. This is a good call. The only way this is it can backfire if the CTs, let's say, have 2 players in pit, or maybe 1 in pit, 1 inside. If they're playing passively, basically that's the way. If they're playing aggressively mid, this is most of the time a good strat to execute. I think what the CTs should have done here, they shouldn't have had Shox long, because if you're already committed 2 players on short, this is exactly how they can get punished. So why just not send Shox there from the beginning of the round and commit to that? If they that they're not in banana aggressively, if they want to go 8 through long, you still have 3 players here they have to go through, and no one's gonna go basically for a fast B split. That's just, I don't know, you will never probably see that. So this was another round for Fnatic. So another example that I don't have from a particular game is how the CTs can set up in A apps to try and win a round. So maybe if you see that the Ts are sloppy in not using a Molotov or bedroom or flashes, or just running in through window room initially, you can say send 2 or 3 players toward A apps, send the player with the best spawn towards bedroom, 1 here close apps and 1 on stairs, and then this player can play first contact while the stairs player is hidden and the bedroom player is watching window room. So when this player, this one, when he makes contact, that's when the player from stairs peeks and gets a free kill, even if this guy dies. I need some water. So, and if the reaction is from a window player guy to run in, he'll get killed by the player from bedroom, and so on. So yeah, these are basically some of the most common examples of map control on Inferno, and the things you can do with it on both the T and CT side. At sometimes I think that people, except for maybe Fnatic, a lot of teams don't use the brute force way in, you know, even with just a flash through mid, as we can see can work, or just running through apps. That's the way you can punish the CTs for using a lot of their resources on banana. Another thing you can do is, because as you saw, a lot of teams use their A players to throw the smokes towards B, you can go for a delayed A execute, but not going apps, maybe just sending 3 players towards long, smoking these choke points off, smoking off pit and maybe car, and just, you know, pinching the players who are inside, ignoring pit, and maybe training with the player on balcony, and then delayed clearing out pit. So yeah, that's it, boys. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed it.